baby. Okay. Okay. All right. Shalom, shalom, man. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Kal Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodesh. I want to send double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. I want to say much peace, love, and salutations to your Akim out there pushing the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, sincerity and truth. It's the brother Ariella. And yeah, man, I'm out of town, so I wanted to do this New Year's Eve of Destruction, Path to the M.O.T.B. And talk about a couple other things real quick. This next year is looking to be very exciting through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah. There's a lot of things that are on the table that can potentially lead to our salvation and us getting up out of here. And it's very exciting, and I expect for Akiam to be excited and to for everything that come to pass to, increase everyone's faith. There's things that are coming up that we've been documenting through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah, going over the prophecies, talking about the M.O.T.B. But now there's certain technology that is set in place that makes what Great Millstone has been pushing over these last 20 years, basically. If you can't see it, you just ain't with it. If you can't see it, you're just not with it. Okay? With quantum computing, AI, machine learning, blockchain, and with 5G, 6G technology, their ability to make Revelation 13 and 16 come alive in your life is more evident when we talk about, what's been talked about as far as the chip goes, the M.O.T.B, the mark of the beast. These things now are basically live. They're running it. They're running their AI to make sure that it can handle the amount of information coming in and to basically catch up with society now. Their quantum, they just did a major test on the latest quantum computer, and its power, its ability to, computate data is off the charts. They're bringing Elon and blockchain. They're using Bitcoin. Bitcoin is nothing. Bitcoin is an old blockchain. It's old tech. But they're using Bitcoin to put it in everybody's face. There's no, you got even people saying that Bitcoin is the market. It can't be. It's not. It doesn't have the storage ability. It's too slow to be the mark of the beast. But there's newer blockchain technology that's been going on for the last 15 years. Bitcoin was introduced on the world stage in 2009. The cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies that they have out now are faster, way, way, way better than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is nothing. Bitcoin is just, something to get people interested because of the money. Okay. So they got all of these things going. They already ran their 5G networks. They went around all the major cities in the West, and not even just in the West, in the East too. In China, India, they've already had these systems put in place. So they're getting ready to do something to do the major thing that we see. I want to play this clip, read some scriptures, and talk about the path of the M.O.T.B. And then what I want to also do is talk about a little bit of mindset for brothers that are in the camps, younger men, And even some older men. When I say younger men, I'm not talking about your physical age. When I say younger men, I'm talking about your mindset as you transitioned into the ministry. Because you could be 70 years old, but 3 years in the truth and act just the same as a 22-year-old guy. Okay. That's 3 years in the truth. And we've seen it, been there, done that. Your physical age may give you a couple of extra points, but your time and dedication to the ministry is what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is looking for. And so we want to talk about a little bit of that mindset, things that are just that are just not going to be dealt with, and things that are going to be needful to move forward. Okay, so with no further ado, we'll play this clip, and then we'll get into the scripture. All right, here we go.
Let me show you how close we are to absolute insanity. This is Mark Andreessen on Barry Weiss, just I think last week, talking about.
All right, and before I let this play, I always say this to brothers. I came up in brothers that know me. I came up in school, university, even. I listened to a lot of lectures and seminars and conference lectures. So, when I'm listening to someone speak, I'm listening to the words because I have to break down what they're saying because I'm potentially going to be tested on it. You're going to have these Edomites talk, and it's very hard to listen to for us that's in this truth. But when Esau be talking, these guys, you have listen to what the fuck they say. Listen to them. Because they're going to tell you the demonic intent that they have in their brains. Okay? Matter of fact, you know what? Before I even play that, we're gonna pump fake you. I'm pump faking you right now. We're gonna read Psalm 64:1. It says, "Hear my voice, O God, O Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy." One of the things you learn when you cross over is who your enemy is. The spiritual demon Satan has been set out to use certain spirits, certain people. He's going to put their spirit in them. The main enemy you have is going to be Esau. Esau was prophesied to be our enemy. We was prophesied to go to war with Amalek from generation to generation. And even our own 2/3 of our own people are our enemy. All right, these other nations and 2/3 of our people are our enemy. So David is singing a song for the Most High to preserve his life from the fear of the enemy. Now check this. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Now King David was running his own kingdom. That's why he was named king. So when he says, when the secret counsel of the wicked wasn't some low level shit, we ain't talking about the people talking about you at lunch break in the break room. We're talking about major powers on the earth that want to take down King David, those that are 2/3 of his own people and the other nations, mainly Esau. King David went to war with Esau. All right. And so now that Esau is on top, you best believe that they have a secret council that's set up to control the world that you live in and control who you are. They want the blessing that they lost. So hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. And they do that with physical words and their propaganda that they push out in the media. And they also use their words in legislation, all right, and public policy to shoot at you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? And they're doing this, man. And they're creating a world that's going to lead you to have to need a mark in your forehead or in your right hand or in your hand even that you may not be able to buy or sell no matter who you are. Revelation, the 13th chapter, we're going to read it. So these bitter words and everything they intend to do are aimed at you, bro. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot them and fear not. And that's why they have these secret councils. They get together, they plot, scheme, and do all these things. They encourage themselves in the evil matter, is what it says here in verse 5. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So their mindset is completely fixated on accomplishing an evil, demented, demonic, despicable goal, man. Okay? They search it out. They look. That's why they have AI. What do you think AI is for? AI is there to search out shit. It's to search out how the human psyche. Okay? You say, oh, I need a physical trainer. You just say it out loud. 2 seconds later, a physical trainer pops up on your phone. Man, I was thinking about going to a restaurant. You pop up on your phone. These are local restaurants. You might be, they have AI and all of their technology searching out iniquities, man. Point blank, period. Okay, so this is what's going on, man. Now check out this. When I slowed everything down just to get everybody to focus. I know it takes a little time. Let's play this.
About a meeting last fall at the White House talking about AI. Listen.
We had meetings in DC in May where we talked to them about this, and the meetings were absolutely horrifying. And we came out basically deciding we had to endorse Trump.
Mark, add so little color to absolutely horrifying. What did you hear in those meetings?
They said, look, AI is one of these technology. AI is a technology basically that the government is going to completely control. This is not going to be a startup thing. They actually said flat out to us, don't do AI startups. Like don't fund AI startups. That's not something that we're going to allow to happen. They're not going to be allowed to exist. There's no point. They basically said AI is going to be a game of 2 or 3 big companies working closely with the government. And we're going to basically wrap them in a, I'm paraphrasing.
So this guy here is, a part of, tech companies, this and that. They're trying to figure out what's going on, what they'll be allowed to do so they can know what to invest in, their startups and everything they're doing. And they said that a government spokesman told them don't even invest in AI because the government's going to shut it all down. You're not going to have access to it. We only want 2 or 3 companies to be running AI, so y'all don't even worry about it. Okay? Y'all don't even worry about it. Now, what's interesting, what he said is in the beginning, this is why we're going to endorse Trump, insinuating that Trump is going to be anti this, kind of like anti-capitalism, fascist move when we see the complete opposite in what Trump is doing. This is why he has Elon Musk at the forefront of what he's doing. Is Elon Musk a part of the government? No. Elon Musk is a billionaire tech mogul that has long been associated with government contracts, this and that propped up his company, Tesla, SpaceX, so on and so forth. So you got to listen to what these Edomites are saying. They play games. They play games. He's speaking one way, but the direction that everything is going is in the same direction. Okay? Now, before we keep going on this, what I want you to tell you about is what he's talking about is fascism, where you have corporations and everything like that combining in with everything. All right? It's fascism. And they're connecting everything. They're connecting and combining everything. I'm going to play this real quick.
The definition of fascism were large financial and corporate interests controlling government policy and what the government would do against the interests of the people. That's what fascism is. Go look it up. Thomas Jefferson warned of it. He actually wrote warned of the unchecked power of the corporations corrupting government. The definition of fascism.
Okay, so that's the definition of fascism. And that's what you see him explaining. You're going to have a fascist state in order to accomplish the M.O.T.B. And they're moving everything in that direction. A fascist state is going to be needed in order to accomplish this M.O.T.B goal. All right, because that's what it is. All right, so let's play this.
But we're going to basically wrap them in a government cocoon. We're going to protect them from competition. We're going to 2 or 3 big companies working closely with the government, and we're going to basically wrap them in a, I'm paraphrasing, but we're going to basically wrap them in a government cocoon. We're going to protect them from competition. We're going to control them, and we're going to dictate what they do. And then I said, well, yeah, I don't understand how you're going to lock this down so much, because like the math for, AI is like out there and it's being taught everywhere. And, they literally said, well, during the Cold War, we classified entire areas of physics, and took them out of the research community, and like entire branches of physics basically went dark and didn't proceed. And that if
you remember back in the day when there's all these free energy projects to like not have to be dependent upon oil, all these type of things and mindsets was going out there, and they shut it all down, bro. So there was entire industries that the government was able to shut down, encapsulate, and then government contracts basically allow certain industries to, promote themselves and move to the forefront. They're going to do the same thing with data and technology, to where only a couple of corporations that are owned by the cabal, whatever you want to call it, I don't care, Esau is going to be able to put things together. This is how you're able to get this. This is how you're able to get Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So we're going to find out who's down, who's not down. And once we find out that you're not down, we're going to put you in a position where you're out of there. You're done. Verse 16 says, and he causeth, and I always hinge on that word causeth. He causeth all right? In order to cause it all, that means you have to put some systems in place. A worldwide system. Big. It's going to be bigger than sanctions, embargoes. All right? It's going, that he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. That encapsulates all the intricacies of society. Not just the big time people. No, the everyday Joe Schmo that's in the back alley, too. All the people that are in the modern world are going to be encapsulated into this system. The relevant people of the world are going to be encapsulated into this system. Okay? Everybody. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right? That no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay, so in order to do that, you're going to have these corporate industries linked with the government and get approval, get the monies, get the backing, get the regulation, get the words, get the secret councils to get this shit pushed out. And you're listening to him explain them getting that going. You're listening to him to explain, yo, this AI technology, y'all don't worry about it. We already gonna have Google and this corporation run all that. All y'all trying to get in here and y'all don't want to play with the code and everything. No, we're gonna shut that down. These groups are gonna do that. This is another piece of the path to the M.O.T.B. Okay. This is another path to the M.O.T.B. All right. And they're doing it. And this is some of the things that we're going to see in 2025. These are some of the things that we're going to see be pushed forward very quickly. All right. They move forward with AI fast. They move forward with 5G fast. We're talking about 2-3 years. Once we get Trump in there, if he does get up in there, we still got to see if he's even gonna get up in there. But the pieces that are being put together is making it seem like they're getting ready to move this thing quick. It's not gonna be a whole bunch of time they're gonna be wasting. So 2025 can, you know, we're looking at a digital year. Okay, we're looking at the possible year of the M.O.T.B. It's not, we're not playing around. They not joking. They own it. You know. Yeah, they're not joking, man. They own it. So this is very interesting to me. And yeah, I know it's interesting to the brothers. Okay, so let me keep playing. Go back a little bit.
And they literally said, well, during the Cold War, we classified entire areas of physics and took them out of the research community, and like entire branches of physics basically went dark and didn't proceed. And that if we decide we need to, we're going to do the same thing to the math underneath AI.
Wow.
And I said, I've just learned two very important things. Because I wasn't aware of the former, and I wasn't aware that you were, even conceiving of doing it to the latter. And so they basically just said, yeah, we're gonna take total control of the entire thing, and just don't.
And what was their, and Mark, what was Steelman for the listener? Like, what was their argument? Why were?
Well, so this gets into this whole all these debates around AI safety, AI policy. So there's sort of several dimensions on it, and I'll do my best to steelman it. So one is just to the extent that this stuff is relevant to the military, which it is. Like if you draw an analogy between AI and autonomous weapons being like the new thing that's going to determine who wins and loses wars, then you draw an analogy to in the Cold War that was nuclear power, and that was the atomic bomb. And the federal government, the steelman would be the federal government didn't let startups go out and build atomic bombs. Right, you had the Manhattan Project, and everything was classified, and at least according to them, they classified.
And so he's basically telling you they did everything in secret so they could sneak up and use it. Back in World War II, and when it came to the atomic bomb, that was a trump card, pun intended. So where when they dropped those bombs, it was like, oh my God, we surrendered. What the fuck? So they want to have AI technology to be that way too. And the worry is that China has already gotten too far ahead and everything like that. But what the world is going to find out is that the elite have already been corroborating this whole thing with the East and the West so that they can merge it and have a one world, a true one world global digital move. They see the world thinks that there's this economic battle. Now, everything is actually just political, because when you read in the scripture, it talks about a one world move, man. But then all of a sudden, all these people are gonna just start fighting. How you gonna do this M.O.T.B and then all of a sudden, but Armageddon? That means y'all have this thing economically in the world that y'all trying to do together, but there's this fight that the Most High is gonna stir up, man. And so we're watching it happen. That's why the scripture says, "Woe unto you, Babylon and Asia." Okay. It says, "Woe unto you, Babylon and Asia." If somebody want to put that into the chat, because these guys are economically tied together, but they're gonna end up in this big battle. So anyway, going back to what this guy's saying here, he's explaining that okay, the atomic bomb was just some type of trump card, but now in AI, and as far as AI and this new digital age, they want to try to create that as well. So they got to clamp down. They can't allow it to be a free capitalistic entrepreneurial venture.
Down to the level of actual mathematics, and in the Cold War, that was nuclear power, and that was the atomic bomb. And the federal government, the steelman would be the federal government didn't let startups go out and build atomic bombs. Right, you had the Manhattan Project, and everything was classified, and at least according to them, they classified down to the level of actual mathematics. They tightly controlled everything, and look, that determined a lot of the shape of the world, right? And so there's that, and then look, there's the other that's part one, and then look, I think part two is there's the social control aspect to it. which is where the censorship stuff comes right back, which is the exact same dynamic we've had with social media censorship and how it's basically been weaponized and how the government became entwined with social media censorship, which is one of the real scandals of the last decade and a real problem, like a real constitutional problem.
Now, so that's another level of fascism. Is how, okay, when you had the jab go out, literally the government linked on with Facebook at this time, Twitter, YouTube, all these social media platforms, and force these guys to censor people's freedom of speech, to say, hey, their freedom of speech is dangerous. They can't go out here and go against what the government is saying. That was a huge move in changing the mindset of what is constitutional and not constitutional. Basically, there is no constitution. They're able to come and put these regulations out there indiscriminately and link up with major worldwide corporations to enforce it. That is fascism. That's what this guy is talking about. When the government is able to go to a Facebook or Twitter or YouTube and get them to implement laws, that's fascism.
Were large financial and corporate interests controlling government policy and what the government would do against the interests of the people.
Boom. So now this is why you have Elon Musk being able to have influence within with the presidency. And now Elon Musk is going to be put on a special board along with these other guys, that large corporate and financial institutions being able to link with the government and have a say-so. You need that in order to have the M.O.T.B. We are at the cusp of something epic. And we say, why? Because we know we're coming close to the end of something. We know that if this thing goes further, we're at the back end of something. Okay? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Okay? So both sides got this going. Everything's going to be cooking. Everything like that, right? And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right? Now that's being revealed. All of these things are coming out, right? Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. So his power is coming after working of Satan. That's why we see all this crap going on with planes falling out the sky. We don't, there's there's this fog all over the place. It's getting everybody sick. Weird shit. All right. Which I probably end up, I'm going to study that a little bit more. That might be something we go into, But they're coming is after the working of Satan, man. Verse 10 says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. What did they receive? They got deceived and they believed that this technology and everything they was doing is this magical wonderland. And that's how they're going to present Neuralink and everything like that. And it's going to move quick, man. This stuff is going to move faster than what people anticipate. It's going to move quick. All right. Oh, that's a good. I was actually going to bring out that definition, but I wanted to just hinge on fascism. But this is beautiful. GMS, it shall surely come put. Technocracy is a form of government in which the decision makers are selected based on their expertise in a given area of responsibility, particularly with regard to scientific or technical knowledge. And that's why you see a Elon, aka Tony Stark, be pushed. All right, because they want to create a technocracy, a technocratic fascist society where you have these major corporations like Google. They're not going to say Tesla because that's just too incriminating. They'll name it something fancy, something cute. You know, people's AI. You know, something like that, and people were like, "Yeah, man, people's AI." I went, you know. Now I can hear like a dog now. My girlfriend was talking about me behind my back, and I heard everything she said. That bitch. You know, my boss didn't want to give me a raise, but I was able to calculate my exact raise, and he couldn't fight me. And and now I make six figure, something stupid. Now me and my pet turtle can communicate every single day. He used to be depressed, and now he's happy. People's AI. They're going to be doing all types of weirdo, and it's going to move quickly. But within it, they're going to just incorporate this and that until you get Revelation, 13th chapter, verse 16, to where everything is encapsulated into one thing, right? And it seems ridiculous, but when has this man not been ridiculous? He's been ridiculous during his whole entire rulership. Point blank, period. Right? So now this is that mystery of iniquity working in front of our face. I'm gonna finish this up and then I'm gonna move on to a different topic.
That is happening at like hyperspeed in AI. And these are the same people who have been using social media censorship against their political enemies. These are the same people who have been doing debanking against their political enemies. And they basically, I think they want to use AI the same way. And then look, I think the third is, I think this generation of Democrats, the ones in the White House under Biden, they became very anti-capitalist, and they wanted to go back to much more of a centralized, controlled, planned economy. And you saw that in many aspects of their policy. But I think, quite frankly, they think that the idea that the private sector plays an important role is not high up on their priority list, and they think generally companies are bad and capitalism is bad and entrepreneurs are bad, and they've said that 1,000 different ways. And they demonize entrepreneurs as much as they can.
I did.
So yeah, so he's talking about them demonizing entrepreneurs. What they'll do is they demonize entrepreneurs, but then they suck up certain entrepreneurs to come along and be a part of the plan, and that's what'll happen. That's what'll happen, man. They go to these universities and they find the smartest minds, and this is usually what happens. They find the smartest minds that are in these universities and these research programs, and they recruit them when they're 21, 22. Peter Parker will never become Spider-Man. He's just going to be a corporate slave. That's how that goes.
I mean, that's kind of like the Pentagon coming out and saying, "Oh, by the way, UFOs are real. Let's move on." I mean, like what he just said is, it's true. And the first one is the only one that you go, okay, well, I kind of see that. You don't want people making nuclear weapons, but you're not going to, it will only be very.
See, after the first nuclear weapon was created, the only way to keep the nuclear weapon in check is if everybody got one. That's the only way to keep it in check. So since they did not allow that, now it's a gun to the whole world's head on. Nigga, I'll nuke you. Give me all your shit. See, if everybody had a nuke, it wouldn't be all this crazy talk. There's no more tough guy. You gotta, you know what I mean? You can't allow the rabbit to have the gun, how they say. But Esau's good at making it sound like there's such a peace with everyone. But war was in their heart. But war was in their heart. That's just the way that they are. They'll make it seem like, man, we can't allow everyone to have this because we need to keep peace on earth. And we need to make sure that everybody's okay. No. If they actually wanted to, if you actually wanted to keep Esau in check, everybody needed to have a nuke. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, what's that scripture, man? Let me get the scripture. I think it's. Mm-mm. It might be like Psalm 55, 18. Let me see. There it is. Yeah, Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. That's how they did it with the nuclear weapons. Okay, you know, they made the nuke, and then it was like, oh, we can't let nobody make this. That's how Esau do, bro. You know, that's how he moves. All right. So now I'm gonna move on to this next topic real quick. I'll say real quick. And we always say real quick, don't judge me. All right, so I want to move on more into the mindset of the brotherhood in 2025. This is the New Year's Eve of destruction. I was watching this video, or I've watched some of this video. This is something that we've been talking about here in Dallas. This is a Elder Kadar that's here in the Dallas camp, and he did a video, sent it out to the young brothers for them to watch. But I know for a fact that it's an issue in all the camps because we're dealing with humans, men. All right. And he named it responsibility is required of you in this truth. And the reason why he named it that is because he's such a nice guy. He's very, very, very like this brother, man. You could go out and do the worst, most heinous crime, and he's gonna find out something positive to say about you. You know, and he's gonna believe. But that brother, he's just very passionate. You know, he's like one of the most. He might be the most positive person I've ever met in my life. He's top 3 most positive brothers in Great Millstone. All right. But if I had to name this video something, this is what I would have named it. This is the ministry, not a social service club. N-word. Okay. And this mindset and these type of brothers is what here in this next year, you're going to see a lot of removal of these type of guys. Now, I did a lesson maybe a month ago on being a toga party. Oh, but he's a friend of the prophets, Israelite. We ain't here for that. And even more than that, when he says responsibility is required of you in this truth, is you come into this truth, and I'm gonna talk about how we deal in Great Millstone, Dallas. There's a there's a template that we took from learning from the apostles, bishops, getting cursed out ourselves, going through our daily lives here in Dallas to say, okay, if you are serious about this truth, you're going to cater your life to the ministry, meaning you're going to position things that you got going in your life to make sure that you can do these basic requirements. Now, these basic requirements is going to be a lot for somebody that's not serious. These basic requirements, if you ain't serious, you ain't going to make it. Can you make it to camp every week? Can you go to class every week? Can you do your videos? When you're called upon to do something and you give duties within the camp, or you're there to manage it, these are going to be some of the things that is going to be required of you. If you don't have that mindset, this is not a social service club. Just because you say, oh man, I believe in Yahweh Shemel Rashad, you hear, but you can't get and you refuse to get your shit together and you just an excuse making Negro, you can get the fuck out of here, man. Okay? So the brother read that scripture in 2 Thessalonians, the 3rd chapter. We read the scripture all the time about being a busybody and not eating your own bread, right? 2 Thessalonians chapter 3. Man, it's crazy. Verse 7 says, for yourselves know how you ought to follow us, for we have not behaved ourselves disorderly among you. Neither did we eat any man's bread for naught, but wrought with labor and travail night and day that we might not be chargeable to you. There's going to be a lot of guys that take the chip that say that they're part of the Israelite camp because they don't have the mindset of handling their business. All right? But the examples that you see, brothers that's in the camps, they're doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. I do not like an excuse-making Negro. It's annoying. I don't like a sob story making Negro. It's annoying. 2025, you know, this next year coming up, when the Passover comes up, all them excuse making ass Negro, you ain't gonna make it. Go cry somewhere. Go cry on your mama's shoulder. We're not here for a bunch of mama boys, lazy sloth. No. Get it together. All right? So there's certain things that like basic shit, bro. Here we go. All right. Do you have warrants? Be up front. Fix that shit. Don't be at camp with warrants. Now, something happened. There's a disorderly conduct. Something, boom, boom, boom. They're trying to press you. And they take your ID. Now we got to look at your ass and be like, man, why didn't you say something? Basic shit. Get it. Have a valid driver's license, bro. Basic shit. Get a fucking job, man. Stop making excuses, bro. Temp agencies, this, that, boom, boom. Do what you need to do. Man up. Basic shit. If you young, you one of these young brothers, you know, you might not have went to college. You still might be with your parents, but you came into the truth. Don't go to your parents and the people that you living with that don't believe in the truth, talking shit, fucking up your situation, and expect the brotherhood to come in and swoop in and pay for your lifestyle when you don't even have a lifestyle, when you don't even have things necessary to pay for it. Basic shit, bro. That annoying ass stuff, we deal with certain things, but the doors is closing on that crap, man. You want to live by yourself, but I need a roommate money. Would you stop being goddamn proud, man? Get a roommate and shut the fuck up. Oh, man, I already got this lease, man. You're an idiot. You should have talked to somebody. Not helping you, man. Stop being a dumbass. If you don't want to counsel with the brothers before you make a move, what? Like Yoda said, when Luke pulled up on Yoda. He flew all around the goddamn galaxy to find this mystical master. And he walking around the goddamn planet like he runs something. Like he just too busy for every goddamn body. So Yoda looked at the nigga and was like, why are you here? Because if you need something, it would seem like you would be more humble, my nigga. Why are you here? For a person that's looking for an answer, you sure goddamn got a lot to say. That type of stuff is not going to be tolerated. And a lot of that got clipped out in the year of Jacob's trouble. There's a lot more that's going to get clipped out. So we're reading here, verse 8. Neither do we eat any man's bread for naught, but we wrought with labor and travail night and day, that we may not be chargeable to you, to any of you. Right? And Paul, as a leader, has the right to ask, but it always be some other guy. Mainly, it'd be them young a guy that just come in that wants everything from everybody. Verse 9, not because we have not power, but to make ourselves an example unto you to follow us. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. For we hear there are some that walk among you disorderly, working not at all, but are busybodies. Now, brothers read that and say, that's not me. I do my bit. No, you are disorderly. You don't communicate. You're not on point. You don't take the extra step. You wait for another brother to force you to take the extra step. You rely on other people to motivate you. You're unreliable. You're an excuse maker. And you're not annoyed with yourself enough to move forward. You know, we ain't here for all that. And you shouldn't be either. All right? Now, them that are such, we command and exhort by our Lord Yahweh HaMashiach that with quietness they work and they eat their own bread. But ye brethren, be not worrying well doing. So what happens? Brothers still push brothers. Hey, brother, boom, boom, boom. And if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man and have no company with them, that he may be ashamed. And that's what your brothers got to get more accustomed to doing, is noting a man and making him ashamed and seeing what's up. And if he don't, step up, move around. All right, move around. This is always a type of lesson that comes at this time of the year and leading into the Passover, really more around the Passover time. But everything's is moving faster. So hey, I coupled it with this M.O.T.B because it's slothful, lazy, weak, excuse-making people are going to take the M.O.T.B. That's why I was like, you know what? It is relevant. It does connect. Okay? Proverbs 19:15 says, slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. Slothfulness. Okay? Slothfulness. There's many ways you can be slothful. Okay? You can be slothful as far as like actual physical work. You can be slothful with the way you communicate. You can be slothful with how your reading habits. It just leads into a lull. And what happens is that you have a lot of entitlement amongst the camps where you got guys that have been watching these videos over these last 10 years. They're entitled. And now it's funny that now that I'm in my 40s, I'm talking more and more like my apostles and elders, the bishops that taught me. It's just like, oh, you supposed to get this, and Jake it has this just give me the answer mentality. No, man, go find it. Step up. Those guys that are not willing to step up, you ain't gonna get it. And so this is what I admonish brothers. Whoever listens to this lesson, comes back and listens to this lesson, gets to this part of the video, congratulations. You made it. We the best. But you heads of camps, stop allowing these brothers to be so goddamn entitled, man. When brothers are fucking up, let them figure out how to get out of it. Don't just give them a handout. I'm talking about guys that are consistently fucking up. And if they blame the ministry for what they got going on, you understand that they need to be up out of there. Okay? The whole, here's the airplane, open up, and force feeding these guys. Don't let that be what's going on in your camp in 2025, man. You want men that are down, that are ready to hunt. We ain't here for babies, mama boys. Why did you talk to me like that? Fuck you, nigga. Get out. All right? These guys, the affiliate camps, we go to who Apostle Hard and say, well, then fuck you, nigga. You ain't a part of Great Millstone, bitch. Yeah. Don't call us when you need us. Because when a hand was reached out to you, you slapped it. Yeah. Through the spirit power, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. These guys are entitled, man. They think that they was they supposed to get something for nothing, man. They ain't down for being a part of the war, but they want the benefits of the war. They want the benefits of being on the outside. Then they want to think that they're supposed to be entitled to something without putting anything in on it. No, you ain't counting the cost, bro. We ain't doing that. So all that friendly behavior with people, cut that shit off. We always talk about, oh, there's agents. You allow agents to get in when you allow entitled, weak guys in, okay? Luke chapter 14, verse 27. And whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple, man. These guys don't want to bear no cross. They want you to bear a cross and then give you and then give them a handout after you done bear the weight of everything. You can't even be like that with your children. You know, you make a better life and get a good job and you got some kids. You in your mind, you're like, man, I want to give my kids a better life. You know, and then you realize you're making them soft, and they don't appreciate nothing. They don't fight for nothing. They don't fight to be on a higher level. So this year that's coming in, with everything that's coming down the pipe, okay, you gotta be tight. You gotta be on point. You can't let guys just be third titties, man, all soft and shit. You got time for that. If people ain't down for this, they ain't down for who you are, they ain't down for what's going on, they ain't gonna have to move around, even if it hurts your feelings, even if it hurts you. You don't want them to leave. But sometimes you'll have a person and you want so badly for them to get it, and they ain't getting it, and you like, oh, and it hurts you because you don't want them to leave. You gotta man up. All right? You gotta man up and understand what you got on your hands is a liability. We're not here for hangers-ons. There's a lot of guys that is in the camps and they're hangers-ons. And I don't need you to do 55 videos a week to know that you're a hanger-on. It's about what your character, what you bring to the table. Your willingness to make this truth prime everything in your life and do everything else to be an add to the camp. You got guys that are leeches. And they might not even know they're leeches. They might not even know that they're a leech. But hey, bros that are supposed to be protecting the flock, you got to know. Verse 28 here in Luke, for the 14th chapter says, for which of you intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it. You got guys that live like this all day long, bro. They don't count the cost of nothing what they do. They make decisions, they do this, they do that. You come back and you have a counsel with them. Why'd you make the decision? Why'd you do that? Oh, I mean, and they don't, they don't know why the hell they doing what the fuck they doing. They'll fuck anybody, any woman, have a baby. Now we supposed to give them, like we gotta help you with the goddamn baby. Like, goddamn. Jake don't they'll refuse to better their situation, or like I said, get a roommate or something that'll make it more conducive to them being able to be in a Jake. There you got guys that are intentionally get a job to where they can't make it to camp or class. Yeah, and they present like, man, I gotta work, man. They don't want to be here, big homie. Let them go. They don't want to be here. They don't want to be here. Well, they want you to count the cost for their situations. They want you to count the cost for what they got going on. They want you to count the cost. When you got your own pilgrimage and journey, and they ain't counting no cost, man. Now you supposed to come in and they're entitled to your mindset, your spirit, your energy to do what they got going on. That's not what the Most High said. Verse 29 says, least happily after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Okay? So, he started something. He didn't even think about, I need this, I need that, I'm supposed to have this, I need that. And he didn't think about it. He just start going. You got a lot of guys that are in the camps that have that spirit, and bros that are in positions that to be able to discern these things need to understand. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you got guys that are heads of camps that don't count the cost, and they use younger brothers to mask their bullshit, and you will be found out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? Now that goes for me too. I gotta be on point. Count the cost. Okay? So this is not a year that's coming up for lackadaisical, unthoughtful BS, man. You can be sincerely wrong, man. You can be sincerely wrong in a hoe. Thinking that you're on point, you care, boom, boom, but the way you're moving is inconsiderate. You don't communicate. All right, you're irresponsible. You're lazy. You don't want to take risks when you should. You don't trust in the spirit. What I mean is you don't trust in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to do something outside the box. You have a doubtful spirit, and then you just lean on the Akyam. You lean on the brotherhood to keep you in this thing. But you really don't have the spirit for this. You don't have the spirit to be a fighter, a soldier, a real soldier. We ain't in the time for that. Things getting hard. Things are going to get harder. They're about to come in with a ridiculously stupid agenda that if you don't have faith, you're gonna worship the image of the beast. You're gonna take it. You're gonna take that M.O.T.B. Get locked in. Take your life seriously in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Get your shit together. All of us, me included. The course of this next year, get your shit together. Count the cost of what you've been a part of, what you're a part of, and get the job done. And if you don't know, ask somebody. So with that, man, I'm going to say, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kar Kodash. Say double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I'm say much peace, love, and salutations to you. I'm out there pushing the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, sincerity and truth. Amen. Shalom, man. Let's get it.